Swipe right.
It's a good place to practice finding camera. Well, it's like the other option.
Turn left onto Airport.
Oh my god! Ah, I got it!
Should probably go to Hawaii.
Yeah, me either.
Cali, freeway.
Yeah, it's like all freeway. That's how you can get anywhere.
How you walk over there? That's all possible for
Oh, video? Walking into the park.
Yeah, let's go. The eight in my car, so
Oh, I didn't look.
sorry.
Oh, is that the hospital corner? Oh, hey guys! We're about to go on the Minion ride. Oh, is this? Can I get video of it? Can I get a selfie?
Alright, how's everybody doing today? Ah man, that sounds like you guys are all tired. Alright, one more time. How's everybody doing today?
Good!
Way better, way better. Alright everybody, in just a couple of moments, my boss and your future boss, Drew, will come out and explain exactly what's going on today. So, is everybody ready to be a minion? Nice. Alright everyone, so in just a couple of moments, Drew will come out.
For me, I usually take this time to interview new recruits one at a time, but I'm working on something really big today, so I'm going to have to do this kind of quick. Hello, I'm Drew. What's your name? Where are you from? Wow, that might be impressive. Question. And thank you. Anywho, one moment. This is good, but tell the Mario.
Is for Psycho, and the president's neck is missing. But now I'm here to tell you about a remarkable new invention.
Back in the 1930s, the Universal built the big laboratory. The drone was Karloff to life in Frankenstein. And it's where we...
Right now, we're a studio tour. Only for the strip.
A Mindy project about a boy, Hannibal. So, Chelsea lately, they all film here. So, there's going to be lots of opportunities to take photos. I suggest you keep those cameras handy, but if you do, keep them protected because there will be water effects, fire effects, and lots of movement. I need to know that everyone drive us right past some of the busiest sound stages that we have here. Over on the left-hand side are sound stages 25, 24, 23, and 22. They are the home to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation with Ted Danson and Elizabeth Shue. And I can see that some of you think I have no idea what I'm talking about. I do know that the show is set in Las Vegas. I do. But here's the thing. They only go to Vegas when they're shooting their wide establishing shots. You know, those wide shots you see an actor going in or out of a casino, they establish that they're in Vegas, but the rest of the time, they're right here. Yeah. They even have their own mill, so they can build their own set over and over again throughout the week. Make you guys think they're traveling. Third brownstone right there. That is also where they filmed Home Alone. But even the road that we're on is very famous. This is where Marty McFly and Doc Brown would get the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour to go back to the future. And if you can feel that wind blowing through your hair, it is Jim, our driver, putting the pedal to the metal, getting us to top speed on the tram right here and getting us to Courthouse Square. Yes, this is where they filmed the Back to the Future movies, and if you're thinking it looks a little bit different, you are 100% right. It does, because they didn't want you thinking about Back to the Future when you were watching Jennifer Love Hewitt talk to ghosts in Ghost Whisperer. So they changed it up a little. You know how? They used a facade, just the front and the sides of a building, and put it in. Saw Chris Evans become Captain America. And here we are in my hometown.
Are we watching at your place?
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
New York, right?
I'm walking here! It's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
You have seen this street in Captain America, Changeling, Amazing Spider-Man. In fact, this is where we saw Amazing Spider-Man swinging from building to building. That theater on the left, that is where we saw Kirsten Dunst performing in The Importance of Being Earnest for Spider-Man 2. If you remember the scene, Spider-Man was all bummed out. He had already gotten in trouble with his girlfriend, and now he was missing her show for being late. Bad, bad day for Spider-Man. He was right there on the opposite sidewalk. So we just drove right through that scene. Another scene we drove through, Austin Powers dancing with the Mini Cooper. Belongings. Hold on to your seat. And welcome to Skull Island. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. And all of your belongings as well. These guys changed the role of cars in movies forever. From this point on, cars could be the stars. And if we're talking about transformations, how can you leave out the Transformers cars? No, not at all. These guys were full of adventure. But I'm going to take you on another adventure to a jungle island off the coast of Costa Rica.
To Jurassic Park.
That's right. You guys are about to see the props of the picture cars that were seen in the Jurassic Park movies. Where are my Jurassic Park fans? No? Park movies, and how they could have, just avoided a whole lot of trouble if they had had the good sense to tune into a weather report, right? I mean, Al Roker would have told them that there was a storm coming, right? Well, I am not going to make the same mistake. We are headed to Mexico, and I am checking in with Al. Hey, Al, what can we expect at the studio?
Hi, everybody. Here's today's forecast for the Universal Backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry at 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street, and we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, Island of God. That's the forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on.
All right, guys, here we are in Old Mexico. He's calling for a flash flood on a beautiful sunny day like this. Well, it's been a while since I've done weather, but I don't think it looks... That's not fair. That's our special effects department. They always want Al to beat me in this little bet that we have. That's just pre-recorded sounds of thunder, nothing to worry about. Now, down. That way the water has a chance to fall down naturally like real rain. Thank you guys for the demo. If you could go ahead and shut down the sprinklers, I'd appreciate it. I always remind them. The first time they showed this was opening day here at Universal Studios, and you know what happened? They invited all the top celebrities of the day, but those celebrities ended up going home soaking wet. Yeah. So guys, if you could shut down the sprinklers. Jim, I think they left. They left with the water running. Oh no, if you're on the left, watch your cameras, watch those cameras. Oh no. If you're in the front car making fun of the people who just got wet, don't do it because you're not safe either. It's taking us across the border to the Old West. More movies have filmed right here than anywhere else in the world. Take a look at the doorways on either side. You're going to notice some of them are larger than normal, some of them are smaller than normal. I'm going to tell you the Hollywood secret right after this. Now this scene was filmed exactly where we are. If you're wondering where is the dirt that was here on the ground, well, it's back with the Hollywood Dirt Company. That's the company that rents us dirt. When we're done with the scene, they gather it up so that they can rent it to us again.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
More impressive. The ladies go in front of the big doorways. That way they can look petite and demure and in need of being rescued from those big bad cowboys. It is always about creating the illusion. Now check it out. There's a great illusion coming up on the right-hand side. Black Lagoon lived. It's where the ladies from Desperate Housewives said goodbye to Mrs. Huber. It's where Norman Bates disposed of his victims in Psycho. And we're a group of tourists, just like you guys, started out on a 3-hour tour. Oh, I hope we don't end up the same way. Guys, over on the left, do you see that tank right there? That is how we do our underwater scenes. We simply throw the actors inside. The camera and the director stay nice and dry, filming through the windows. If you saw Kramer swimming in the East River on Seinfeld, that's where he was. Over here on the right-hand side, that tiny patch of grass was the entire Central Park for Friends and for Seinfeld. They shot their wide establishing shots in Central Park, then they came here and they did their close-ups. And if you've ever dreamt of being an astronaut and walking on the surface of the moon, we just made your dreams come true. We drove over what was the surface of the moon for Apollo 13. If you're wondering exactly where it was that paved road right between Central Park and the East River. And now I have brought country of Genovia for Princess Diaries 2, a royal engagement. Over on the right-hand side, that was Paris for The Muppet. That's what we saw this having a very serious conversation about their relationship. Over on the left, Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz riding their motorcycles night and day. Right here, they blew up a car for Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks, right where the first car of the tram is. And on the left, that little alleyway, that is where we saw Johnny Depp running after he had saved Keira Knightley's character in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean. Whenever you saw them in Port Royal or Tortuga for those films, they were right here. This is also the birthplace of monster movies like Dracula and Frankenstein. With like a bagel in your hand, right? Well, at least that's my theory. I don't know. We've been having lots of tremors, nothing to worry about. Anyway. Oh, no. Oh, okay, that's the real thing. Guys, please, remain calm. Stay in your seat. We are going to get you out of here as soon as we can. Oh, no. The wall's coming down over on the left. Watch out. Jimmy, how can you be so calm at a time like this? Oh, no. Are you taking a nap? Okay, stay calm, everybody. Stay calm. Oh, okay, I'm calling for help. Oh, I've got no signal. Oh, no. Okay, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Ah! Stay calm. Stay calm. Okay, stay calm. Okay, stay calm, everybody. Stay calm. Okay. Oh, no, the train's going to hit. Okay, the worst is over. We are going to get you out of here in no time, I promise. And the two houses coming up on the right, these are not facades like the one you saw earlier. This is what we call a practical set. You can walk from the living room to the kitchen. It feels like a real house, but it's not. There's no electricity, no plumbing, no bathrooms. Now, who lived in that house all the way on the far end, the peach house? It used to be a different color on the show. Here's a clue. Edie Britt, played by Nicolette Sheridan. Also Renee Perry, played by Vanessa Williams. The blue house is where Mrs. McCluskey lived. The olive house is where Mike the plumber lived before he married Susan and moved across the street. The blue house with the bricks, the most perfect house on the block, is where Bree lived, played by Marcia Cross. And right next door in the greenhouse is where Mary Alice lived. She narrated the whole series from her grave. That is where the Cleavers lived in Leave It to Beaver. Yes, the deer is real. Now, over on the right-hand side, you see a big blue house on the corner. That is the sorority house from Animal House. Look across the street again to the yellow house. That is where Nancy Drew lived. Right next door to her in the greenhouse lived Matlock. That neighborhood was the neighborhood in the Burbs with Tom Hanks. It was the neighborhood in the Money Pit. It is where we saw Michael Bublé sing It's a Sunny Day. Mel B came out here and shot a music video. It's been seen in countless TV. You want to know a secret? Those Whomobiles actually work. They're golf carts with fiberglass tops on them. Of course, the Who's had a hard time with the Grinch, but it all worked out in the end. I wish I could tell you their story here on the back lot ended as happily, but that would not be true, and you know why? Their neighbor is a psycho. These are some of the most famous sets in all of Hollywood, the Bates Motel and the Psycho House up on the hill. Feel free to get your photos and your videos right here.
We all going to grab some
Wow. We did it again in the middle of the day, Jimmy. That is one of the things.
All designed around vision. Yeah, sit down and talk about glory. Well, what if the seventh right now? That's something you don't see.
That Steven Spielberg still used over 500 special effects shots. Now, as we turn out of here, you see the largest freestanding green screen in the world. No, I'm not colorblind. I see that it's blue. But here's the thing. A green screen is still a green screen, even if it's orange. The color doesn't actually matter. All that matters is that it stands out from the actor's skin color and their clothing, because anything that matches the screen simply disappears and gets replaced with visual effects. That's how we do it. What makes this one so special is the fact that we've got a pool out front. They can fill it with water for water scenes, or with sand for desert scenes. They can paint on the screen, or they can leave it as a solid bright color and use it as a green screen. When you saw Chow escaping from prison in Hangover 3, that's where he was. In Inception, the vehicle falling off the bridge, that's where they were. Pirates of the Caribbean, on Stranger Tides, the Mermaid Battle.
Cool stuff. And we had a lot of fun.
Hands up in the air.
This tram has made its final stop. But don't be sad and blue.
Very bad.
Oh my god. Okay, we can breathe in the... Oh, it's gonna be right there.